Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today, we're going to be taking a look at a deck that's got +1/+1 counters in it. And honestly, I think there's enough new cards that care about +1/+1 counters that if we combine it with a few of the old ones, we might actually make a deck that I think can do real damage on the ladder. Seriously. So, let's go hop in and see what cards we're going to be playing with today and see if we can actually get those wins. Alright, before we talk about new cards, let's talk about the old ones that are actually going to help us get across the finish line today. So we're going to start with 4 Olenbach Escorts, mostly because we need some cards that can defend our creatures, and this is actually a good one to have early. And coincidentally, it can get us some extra life gain, and that's actually pretty sweet too. And it has Vigilance. Lots of little stuff going on here that we like. We're also going to be playing Evolving Adaptive, because this card can get bigger. Now, admittedly, the way the deck's built, it's probably not going to be able to get bigger than a 3/3 or 4/4 naturally, but it's actually still going to be big enough alongside everything else, and it's a quality early play. We also have Gaia's Gift. This is one that actually got overlooked, I think, over the last couple of sets. Well, the last set. But the thing is here is this card's actually really good because it actually gives something, a variety of abilities you can work with, right? Whether that's Trample, Hexproof, Indestructible, Reach. There's situations where we're going to want all of those. And you get a +1/+1 counter on top of it at instant speed. This is really good. Obviously, we're going to be playing Quirion Beastcaller because every time we play a creature, it puts a counter, and we're going to be trying to double those counters. And then we have Bloated Contaminator. Now, this in and of itself doesn't really create counters, but if it connects, then it gets to give everything an additional +1/+1. So we're definitely going to hope this connects. And it's a big body, and we do have some ways to put counters on it to help it out as well. And we are going to be looking at an assembler here. We're going to try a couple of these because it just puts a counter every turn, which will trigger some of our other stuff. And we do have Old Elspeth Resplendent because, well, this is just a cool card, and giving something +1/+1 every turn is great. And giving something flying could also be a way to finish our opponent if we can make creatures big enough. Now, let's get into the new cards. First thing we're going to try, because everybody, I think, in the preseason said, you need to build something with Dust Legion Duelist. Now, I'm going to admit to you, we're only playing a couple of copies, because we don't have that many things to put +1/+1s on it, but I think it is worth playing as one of the few ways to be able to draw cards. And again, this is a card that has Vigilance. Another thing to consider is the Ozolith, the Shattered Spire. This card's actually really cool in the sense that every time you get a +1/+1, it gives you an additional one. And this lets you put one on every turn. Now, you can also get away with playing 3 or 4 copies of this because it does cycle and get you an extra card that way, so it's actually a pretty sweet bonus. The other card that's going to be carrying a lot of weight today is going to be Botanical Brawler. When it comes into play, it gets 2 counters, but then anytime you put a counter on something else for the turn, then you get to put a +1/+1 on this, and that's actually pretty cool. So you get to grow a creature and grow this. It doesn't really grow counters on your other creatures, but it gets bigger alongside something else, and that's just as good. And finally, Archangel Elspeth. So our Planeswalkers will be 2 Elspeths in this list, but I think it's pretty cool being able to just create blockers if we need them in a pinch, but otherwise we just get to put counters on the thing, and that's actually pretty cool. Now, if we do end up in a situation, let's say against a mid-range or a control deck where you need to keep making +1/+1s, you can actually get it up to 6 fairly easy, and then if you've had a bunch of other stuff die to say like a Depopulate, for the ultimate here, you get all those things back into play, and that's actually pretty sick. So hopefully this gets to go off at some point during the day. But otherwise, these are the cards we're going to be playing today. I think we're going to be able to get some wins, so let's cross our fingers, go hop in and play those games. And as always, the deck list will be at the end of the video and down below in the description. Just look for the arrows. And if you haven't yet, please, even if you don't subscribe to the channel, which I'd really appreciate, consider joining and at the very least hitting that like button to help me out. And it'll also help you make sure you don't miss any other sweet deck lists like this. Okay, I mean, this will allow us to do a little bit of something, so we'll keep it. I mean, we get to go turn 2 Ozoliths, so that's probably okay. Though, I'm not sure. I mean, I guess it depends on what we draw, because playing it after the Contaminator could be kind of a cool little surprise. But we'll see. Alright, getting in here with an Escort. Not the most powerful little card, but we'll see how it goes. Escort gonna try to attack. Looks like it's gonna die to a cut down, maybe. Maybe I just play another Escort here, in the interest of keeping pressure up. Not that it's a lot of pressure, mind you, but maybe it does a thing. I mean, we did hit our 4th land, so we could Contaminator, put a counter on Contaminator, you know, that whole thing. Alright. I don't think Contaminator's going to live because the opponent obviously had removal they weren't using on the Escort, but we'll see. I mean, I assume... Yeah, exactly. You kill it. We can't protect it right now because it doesn't have a +1/+1 on it. Ah, white mana. That's something. Okay, then. There's no way you're just going to draw here and let us have the Contaminator. I was going to say, that was about to be crazy. What did they disc... Oh, another March. Okay. So they just went ham there. Sure. We'll play this one. We have the other one we can cycle. But let's go. Alright. Opponent takes damage all the way down to 17. We can sack one of the Escorts to protect the other one, so that's at least something. Not really how I thought this was going to go down, but here we are. This is tough, because if we play this as a 4/5, we're not putting a counter on it. I don't love that. Actually, you know what? Let's play this first and put a counter on this, maybe. Seems a little nutty, but let's see. See if they want to kill it or not. Nope. Alright, they're just going to draw. Cool. Okay, we're doing it with these little dudes and the one Ozolith. Not the way I thought we were going to try to get some wins. But we'll see. I mean, if they sweep the board here, we're only saving one creature. Okay. This is a Phyrexian deck. Did not see that coming. That's real. That's very much a surprise. I'm going to cycle this first so I have that information before we figure out what we're going to do here. Oh, that's real nice, actually. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Love to see it. These all have vigilance? Yeah, alright. Attacks with all of them. I mean, you got to do something here, opponent. Oh my, really? I mean, you can't just not block. I was going to say, you're not just not blocking here. That's crazy talk. Alright. Opponent goes to 7. We'll end the turn. So we can save 2 things now. We can put a counter on one and save it, and we can sack the other one to save the big 4/4. And that would end the game at this stage. Wow, that's crazy. We didn't have what I thought was a very good hand. But maybe we just had the right size. Maybe they've got, like... Who knows? Who knows? Maybe it's cut downs and our creatures just got too big and they let them sit around too long. I don't know. Sure. I'm going to go with this at this point. They're only down to 2 mana. Any combination of these that stay is going to be lethal because of the Ozolith. Yeah, we can sack the other Escort. They're doing some math, I think, trying to figure it out. Okay, that does gain them life, though. To be real. Wait, we're going to target the same thing? So then we just sack this anyway, right? And that's still it. Oh, no, it's not. Well, yeah, it is. Because he's... Oh, I drew this, but that doesn't really matter. This has double strike anyway, so... Actually, I was wrong. I was thinking of the wrong one. This doesn't have double strike, but I do have the ability to put a counter on it, which makes it go from 4 to 6. Plus, I can put a counter here. So yeah, we had way more than enough damage, as it turns out. Ooh, what do we do with this? I guess this is fine. We can play Adaptive into Assembly, or into Assembler, and then hope to draw something else. I mean, for the Contaminator, maybe? Oh, this is going to be rough, though. That's not too bad if we can get into a situation to work that out. We'll see, though. Yep, no Bloxies. You do get to pump. Alright. Now that we've got that other one, this kind of... I don't know if I want to play Dusk Legion Duelist here or not. I think we do. Even though it takes away our option to draw cards later, if they have a removal. It does at least encourage the opponent to spend a removal card here. I mean, if they have a cut down, they have a cut down, I guess. We're not going to not block here. Alright. We don't have a cut down, so they're going to have to use 2 mana removal here, which is in our favor. They attack, we're definitely not blocking. That's not going to be a thing. And they don't do anything. Okay. That's a choice. Alright, well. Alright, let's attack. Since we have the Gaia's Gift, I assume they're going to block the Duelist and we'll get a card and get to save our creature. So, I'm into it. Oh, I should have played the... Well, yeah, I should have played the Escort first. Just in case. Because we kind of already knew what we were going to do for the turn, you know? Yeah, if you don't spend anything, I'm not spending anything. Alright, now we will spend something. Sadly, we didn't get the card this turn, like I was hoping we would. Alright. That worked out well for us. So we got rid of the Death Touch creature. We now can save a creature. And we have a Contaminator ready to go. This worked out okay so far. They can kill the Duelist, and I can't do anything about it. We didn't have a counter on it. Liliana, sure. You got it, friend. Now, I will say, this is a little different, because if we draw a land... Okay, we didn't. I was going to say, I'm kind of incentivized to play the Ozolith and put that on there. But we're going to do this. Attack here. Attack here. Alright. And I assume if there's removal, it's going to come at the Bloated Contaminator here. You have a Shieldred. Fortunately, we have stuff that can punch past a Shieldred. However, we continue to not find land. Alright, so let's do 2, 4, 5, yeah. We'll just do this. I mean, they know what we have, so if they don't block, they don't block. We don't really care. Like, that's fine, too. Yep. And then we either play this or we play this. Get a 2/2. Or we just leave this up to save a creature. But either one's probably good enough next turn. So I think I'm going to go with this. I think. I don't know. Because I feel like if they play like Invoke Despair, we'll just probably sacrifice the Duelist at this point. Opponent's going to go to 6. They would gain at least 2 more, 4 more, so they go to 10. I think we're still on the same attacking plan, so that doesn't change anything. Though again, if we get a land, we play Ozolith first. Then we create a situation where if something gets through, this potentially becomes lethal. 6, 7, not quite. It'd be a little short. But if the opponent wants to kill something, now's our opportunity if they want to kill the 6/6. And this is the chance. Okay, hey, that'll gain some life. That's a legit card to have here. That's real, as they say. Alright, let's play this. And we'll attack, attack, and that's it for now. I mean, they're only at 6. They gotta block something. Sure. Alright, I mean, you're committing to the fact that we have it sooner or later. This card's been so good so far. Alright, let me put counters on things, and we get bonus counters. Alright, so our dudes are super big. Yeah, even Invoke Despair doesn't matter here. Yeah, I don't think Mono Black has an out here. I mean, they're at 8. I guess there's a couple of blocker... Okay, yeah, they're just dead here. Yep. Alright, let's try it. This is one I feel much better being on the play. Like, here on the draw, I would very much rather have had, like, a 1-mana thing to force them to use removal, because now we kind of know if we play the Beast Collar, it's just going to end up dead. It like, just doesn't feel great, you know? Unless for some reason they give us a reprieve, but I doubt it. I guess I could have got away with trying to play the Assembler and just see what they do, but that feels like a little bit of a stretch. Alright, well, they're going to get away with turning that into whatever it is on the backside. Oh, the 3/3. Yeah, I played that in one of the early access decks. Alright, and then you'll get your body. Seems good, I guess. Yep, go for it. I have no qualms with this. Oh. Don't mind another Contaminator, though. That's kind of sweet. No attacks. Not worth trading the Beast Collar when we have a chance to make it larger next turn. A couple of different ways, actually. Whether we want to put Azorius Counters or something, or just play a Beast Collar. Or play the Automaton, or the Assembler and the Azorius, depending on what the opponent does. There are choices here that could matter. Yeah, I was going to say attack. I ain't blocking. I don't care to block that badly. This doesn't have to be used as a sorcery, right? Yeah, you just make 2 dudes. Alright, good to know. That is a thing to be aware of. Now it's how badly do I want to Ozolith here? This is kind of a real question. If we Ozolith and then... Nah, I don't think so. I think we just do this. And if they get us with some type of sweeper. But it would get their things too, so I don't mind that much. Yeah, they'll get to draw and discard, but I'm fine with it. Like, it's not worth not putting the counters on our things. Yep, you got it. That's not even a card I was worried about. I'd rather that than the other things in our hand. Also means now we don't have to worry about 1/1 showing up and trading, so they're probably going to have to block and shoot to get any type of trade here. And we're okay with that, if that's how this has to go. Like, if you got something, you got something. We are okay with this. Ooh, and we get to put extra counters? Nice. Now burn down the house doesn't seem so bad. Alright. Not that they would probably do that anyway and get rid of their own stuff, but it's just having protection for more sweepers is always good. Uh-oh, what were they thinking about doing there? That's interesting. The opponent's at 9, we're at 18. We got a lot of stuff incoming here. I mean, I might just play Contaminator, pump those other creatures, and force them into a bad blocking situation. So you're talking a 5/5 and a 7/7? That's huge. Unless they play a big body of their own here, then that could slow me down a little bit. Or are they just holding counters and burn spells, possibly? But that's kind of one of those ones, like, if they are, they are. Like, you know, we ain't going to do nothing about it. Opponent's debating discarding? That would be interesting. Yeah, I was going to say, to spend your mana there seems like an odd flex. Okay, so here, even though Ozolith helps us, I'm only going to do this. Because if this were to get countered or something, I wouldn't want to play a second spell to pump the Shredder that's blocking. And I'd rather just go with this. And then if they just have a way to kill something or whatever, like, that's fine. If they bounce something, that would make sense too. Yeah, exactly. Not too concerned about it. That makes plenty of sense. I mean, they can block the 4/4 safely, and they could chump block the 5/5, so they're nowhere near dead. I mean, it's a rough look, but they're not dead yet. Yeah, you can play fire that all day. I mean, hey, do what you're gonna do, opponent. Do what you're gonna do. Alright. I will let them draw and discard. I'm okay with that. And then we have back-to-back Azorius next turn. Probably just have one stick, put the counters on the Contaminator and attack, and that might be our plan. But we'll see. Again, a lot could depend on what we draw. If something gets bounced or killed here. They can still chump block the 6/6 safely. And right now, the Contaminator can be blocked by a Ledger Shredder. Memory Deluge. Alright. So unless they find... Well, I don't even know now. It would have to be exactly play with fire so they could kill the Beast Caller. And then pump their Shredder. Okay, they had a land. And a Kinner. Alright, so you're still in this. We're still playing Magic. Though they are in a situation that the Contaminator has to be blocked by the Ledger Shredder. Or they die, because you can't let any creature through. Hold on. Because we know they can't let a creature through here. If we play this first, that would get to grow. Either way, it's going to get to kill a Shredder. Like, the only way it doesn't kill a Shredder is if we do this first. But then we don't have a good attack with the other Beast Caller. So then that kind of sucks. This is kind of a rough spot to be in. If I Ozolith, then Beast Caller, these would get really big. Attack with everything. This still blocks here, those die, and then we try to win next turn. I guess maybe it's still worth it. This feels a little closer than it should be as far as which play is right, but I'm alright with that. I feel like it still forces the same blocks. We lose the Contaminator, but it's whatever, you know? Because that's the only block they can make with the Contaminator. Because it has Trample. If they block any other way, that's bad for them. Like, opponent, you don't do it. You have to block the Contaminator opponent with the 6/8. Opponent, don't. There you go. There you go. I was about to say, I was about to be real bad. Alright. And now they know we have the Ozla, so if we find any creature, it pumps all of our stuff to gigantic proportions. Okay, hey, Fable's a body. That's a blocker right now. That's a blocker too. Those are real numbers. That's real. That doesn't help, but we will cycle that one. Find a 2/2 or smaller. That works perfectly for us. Pump the team. Pump this, I think. Well, it doesn't matter. One of them. One of them's going to die to the big dude anyway, so we'll just distribute it. Alright. We do get to move our counters around, which is kind of nice here. When that dies. We'll just put those here. Probably just put them all there. That's fine. Man, this is constant pressure on our opponent. Our creatures are really big here. So unless they could, like, bounce, copy, whatever. But even then, they only get to chump block once. Because we're going to make our creatures just too damn large here. Thanks to the Ozolith. Yep, that's going to do it. This will be fun. Let's see how this works out. Alright, let's go this guy. Oh, double Brawler. I don't think we've had an opportunity to have double Brawler. This is cool. Alright, Skrelv. So I'm assuming this is going to be a Legends type deck on the other side. So let's just go Brawler here. Past the... Well, I mean, I guess we attack. This has Vigilance. No. Past to the attack step, then we attack. There we go. That's what we're wanting to do. End the turn. Actually, see, this is a little tough. I probably should have played Beast Caller there. Because a Brawler doesn't naturally get bigger. Beast Caller does. So I actually probably should have alternated Beast Caller into Brawler, then Beast Caller into Brawler. Would have made more sense. I think I screwed that up. I mean, this isn't the worst thing, but it definitely could have been much better here. Because I could have been attacking with a 4/4, well, even a bigger. Because I would have had played the first, would have played Brawler here. Now, granted, I didn't know I was going to draw Escort, but I could have played Brawler, which would have made the Beast Caller a 3/3. Then played the Escort, would have been a 5/5. And that changes everything. So yeah, that's a little tough. Definitely an error on my part. And then next turn, like I said, I could have alternated into these, but I don't know. It's a thing. We get to attack with this anyway, at the very least. It does get a counter because the Beast Caller got a counter, so there's that. Oh, it's reading like, how did this be a 3/3? It's like, yeah, whenever put a +1 counter on another permanent, this gets one. And we'll attack. Since we can protect it. Would have just been nicer to be attacking with a bigger chunk here. In the turn. Now, the good news is that the opponent is playing mostly creatures here. We don't have to worry about a whole lot. Yeah, Shieldred, fine. We can protect our big bodies that might be attacking this turn. We draw. Oh, excellent. Excellent. That's a home run right there. Now it's just, do I want to play this or this first? That's the next question. I think we play the other Beast Caller first. And then we're going to be getting in there with a lot of things. Alright. And this says, well, what are more counters put on another permanent? If it's the first time a counter's been put on, you put a counter on this instead. Alright. We attack with both. Because we can kill a Shieldred here, so why not? The next turn, they'll be big enough just to trade with Shieldred, so whatever. Seems good. I mean, opponent has to be going like, what's up? Like, I mean, I guess because I could also sack the Escorts here, so that's bad for them. So yeah, we kind of have it covered all the way around. Alright. Wait, I should have only done it if it's the first time, right? It says each turn. If it's the first time this turn, been put on that permanent, put a +1/+1 counter on Brawler. Weird. Counter on another permanent you control. If it's the first time it's been put... Okay, well, alright. Okay, you have a Shieldred. Or a Elish Norn. We'll take some amount of damage, but... cost of doing business. All of these are going to be representing potentially lethal here. I guess they're not. I must be misreading this. This not working the way it's intended to. Whenever you put one or more counters on another permanent, if it's the first time, you put a +1/+1 counter on Botanical Brawler. But we're putting more than one. Oh, wait, it's because for each permanent? Oh, yeah. So it's not the first time for the turn, it's just the first time on that permanent. That changes everything. Okay. Attack, attack, attack. These dudes can't, or this dude can't block. So assume you block the 3 biggest, you take 5, 6, 7. Sure. So actually, if those get through, and these have trample, we could use the gift on one of these and pump both of those. The way those read. I was misinterpreting that. Like, that is huge. So now we have to decide how they block and what we decide to do here. The opponent's taking 5, 9, 10. None of these have lifelink, right? Okay. Then I guess we sack this. Put the counter here. Which then also pumps some things some more. Oh, this doesn't put a counter. It already has to have a counter. But it doesn't really matter. It's going to trample, and that's lethal anyway. I mean, because that's 9, and then 4 is trampling, plus this. Like, yeah, that's plenty. Sure. I'm not even worried about saving it. Like, it's so much it doesn't matter. Yep, there you go. Alright, we had to go first. Yeah, let's rock this. So here I think we want to go Escorts, Brawler, and I think we do want to play Beast Caller since we know we have this to follow afterwards. And we'll see how that works out. And we can play the Brawler and it's protected from the Escort, by the Escort, not from the Escort. Alright, end the turn. Now granted, this gives indestructible, not hexproof, so you know. That's a real... Oh, this is nice too. Ah, what do we do here? I guess we do this and then... Ah, that sucks. All right. Choices must be made. All right, attacking. Man, this is huge. If I can get the 4/4 here, that would pump the adaptive and pump the beast caller. That also pumps the brawler. So that'd be 1, 2, plus 4 is 6, plus 5 is 11, 12, 13. Oh my gosh. That is sick. That is sick. We can play this, and this lets us just protect our whole board from any type of sweeper next turn. Yeah. Because of the gift in hand. This is gross. This is a mauling. Oh my gosh. Yeah, these escorts are phenomenal in here. Yeah, cool. Okay. I think this is... we have a lot of green sources. I'm going to keep this. This is a bad keep, but, I mean, we've been on a roll. I'm okay losing one to a bad draw that... Not even a bad draw, just a bad keep. Right? Bad life decisions. Because here, even if I get a green, it's like, do we play an adaptive next turn? Probably not. I don't know. But we got to try anyway now that we walked into it. Like, feel free to kill my escort, I guess. Okay, sure. If that's the worst that happens, I mean, I guess we're okay with it. I'd say that. Could be like Liliana here. But like I said, I knew this whole hand was kind of all every which way backwards, so it doesn't surprise me. Go to attack. Sure, you got it, friend. Man, they are really pumping the removal on the smallest things here, so I wonder what they're trying to set up. Ooh, is there any way we could trap the opponent if they try to go to a Wandering Emperor here? Oh, it wouldn't matter anyway, because this doesn't tap. Duh. Let's go ahead and play this. You're going to play another Shieldred's Edict? Counter target artifact or enchantment spell. Alright, that's cool. That does work there. Not how I expected that to get countered, but, you know, it is what it is. You have Vraska. Ooh, we're going to get to save our dude and get a card and kill a Vraska? Hell yeah. That's the best. That's the best of everything. What is best in life? It's this, Conan. It is this. It's not this. We needed this to be an untapped land, and this turn would have been bananas. Unfortunately, it's like whatever smaller than a banana. It's a blueberry, I guess. I don't know. We had a blueberry turn, not a banana turn. Depopulate. We'll try again. Hell yeah, we get all the bonuses. You love to see it. Love to see it. Get an attack in there. See if we can resolve an Elishnorn. We do. Let's minus and get a thing. Because we have many things. Oh, that's not a lot of great things to get. I like the Ozolith a lot, but I'm going to get this because it protects a creature. And since they're playing sacrifice effects, gives us a lot of options. Alright, opponent gives up. Love it. Okay, opponent goes first. But this is actually a pretty strong keep. Let's go with this. Hopefully this goes our way. We don't have any way to defend any of our creatures, though, which is probably the biggest flaw with this hand. But we're playing against another... Oh, well... I mean, if we were on the play, this would be a lot better. But the good news is we can likely make creatures bigger than theirs and cause problems for the opponent. So we're going to take some poison here for sure. I mean, you know, cost of doing business. We can deal with that. And then we start working our way up from here. So let's go... The way things are, probably have to do this. No attacks. We probably are sadly going to let that duelist through unless they just tap out to play a Contaminator here. Oh, that's a little tough. Not going to lie, that's a little tough. Definitely didn't want to see that. So I can block and trade here, which is kind of our only choice. I might be into it, though, to be honest. I think we're going to be. Because they're down to 2 cards. We can use this to get a creature back, if necessary, on a future turn. Which I don't hate. Which makes for a good combat trick, where we can, like... Well, they do have a lot of defensive cards, as well. So maybe it won't even work. But we'll see. We have options, for sure, here. Alright, Skrelv's Hive. That doesn't hurt us here, so that's good. Like to see that. It will hurt us on coming turns, but... Ooh, we needed to draw a threat there, though. Would have been real big. Would have been bigly. So that comes down. Play this. Make a 3/3, I believe that is. And now I have to decide if it's worth attacking here or not. Like, can we race if we attack here? Like, ugh. I'm going to assume they don't have any more removal cards. I mean, it's a hell of an assumption, but whatever. I mean, we get to pump our thing up to a 5/5, 4/4. Sorry, we get to put... Well, we could put 2 counters on it, so it'll be a 5/5. Okay. Alright. Here's hoping. We're going to cross our fingers. We need to draw threats off the top. This is huge. This is pretty much telling us the opponent has either Tamiyo Safekeeping or Tyvar Stand, or both. They had one green mana open with nothing else to do there. So my guess is they have one or the other. This is not bad, though. If that's their play, great. Let us find... That's not going to do it. It's not quite going to do it, deck. That kind of hurts. I'm not going to lie. So we kind of know the Boseju's no good here. I mean, we could target Skrelv's Hive to see if maybe it's Tamiyo Safekeeping instead of Tyvar Stand, but that's kind of like the only real information we can get here. Oh, boy. This is unfortunate. Alright. Let's put this here. At some point, we're going to take a lot of poison. We're going to take so much poison. So that'd be 2, 3, 4, 5. They target their things as 6. Yeah, if they remove our creature, we are just dead. I mean, we can keep it from getting taken, I guess. So there's that. I'm just debating if I should attack with 7 here or attack with 6. We attack with 6. They don't block. They go to 9. They lose 1. They go to 8. And then we attack with both, and they're potentially lethal next turn. So I'm not sure it matters. Because even if we connect, we're making this one bigger for next turn. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, I guess so. Let's go for it. I mean, actually, you know what? Maybe I'm supposed to just attack with both there. Yeah, that's a mistake. I need to attack with both. Because I have Gaia's Gifts, which would have been +2. So that'd have been 13 plus 2 is 15. They would have had to block multiple ways here. Yeah, that was silly. The good news here is they saved their thing, and now we can kill it with the Boseju. So this is our only opportunity. Alright, we do end up taking another poison counter here, but we do get a blocker out of the exchange, so it's fine, I guess. So they did get 2 poison here. Oh no, because it's targeted by a spell. That is not a spell, actually. So they only get 1 poison off of that. So we ended up in an even better spot. Now I don't think we lose next turn. With having a Trampler and the Ozolith out. They're at 8. We obviously chump block if they attack. But with 1 card, they can't produce enough poison here. And we have 17 points worth of Trampler. So that should be it. Yeah, I mean, we're obviously going to block. like, there's nothing else to do here. Blocking is the only real answer. So, sure. Show me what you got. Man, I can't imagine they get even close. I mean, our benefit here was we did draw enough creatures to keep them from attacking, and our creatures were sizable, so they could never punch through, even with Tyvar Stand. Yeah, so we didn't come close to dying to poison, so that's very good. And then, yeah, we just put counters on, and we're going to attack. Go Gadget Brawler. That's awesome. Ooh, man. We've won several games on the draw. I don't know how, but we're going to keep this. Again, no defensive cards here. Nothing to really pump the duelist and draw, so this is gonna be a little bit tough, I think. Trying to figure out what the progression of this hand looks like. I assume it's just Beast Caller, maybe not resolves, try to play Contaminator, hope our board doesn't get swept. And then maybe Duelist plus something to put your counter on the Duelist would be the best situation. And maybe over the next however many turns we draw into a land for Elspeth. But yeah, this has potential to be a very, depending on what type of deck they're playing, this could be a long and difficult game. Alright, no surprise there. We'll play this, hope it doesn't get hit. Okay. How does it die? Oh, Soul Partition. That's okay. Like, Soul Partition, I never really view as dying, because when they sweep the board, I just have a creature in reserve, and that's always pretty nice, so rarely am I going to complain about that. If they have another, they have another. So be it. Alright, another Soul Partition. You got it. Yeah, I guess we're going to play Elspeth. Like, it's the game plan here. I mean, and see, this is why, I mean, I get some people like Soul Partition, but this is the problem I have when I'm in their position, because now, even if they're playing defensively, do you want to leave counters open to stop me from playing these over the next 2 turns? Right? They're looking at them right now. You can see them highlighted, and they're thinking the same thing. So now they've given me options that if I think they have a counter here now, I don't even have to play Elspeth. I'll just replay the Beast Caller and then try to set up an Elspeth for later. If they tap anything, then I'm definitely going to play Elspeth and then just make a soldier. Yep, and that's where we're headed. We're going Elspeth, Soldier. Yep. So, yeah, we're going to do that. They probably didn't see this coming. Alright. And then here's what's sick. If we keep making soldiers and they mill us, we get all those things back from our graveyard, which is going to be awesome. So hopefully they don't, like, ossification our Elspeth or anything, because that'd be great. Ah, they had a Fateful Absence. Boo! Just gotta ruin the fun. It's alright. We have more. We'll find another one. Gotta stay positive, right? I assume you're going to give our creature plus or minus 0? Or -3, -0? Whatever. Y'all know what I'm saying. The negative to the creature. Alright, you got it, fam. Ooh, that's good. We'll take that later, though. Let's go minus, see what we can find. None of those were great, actually, but I guess we'll take Quirion Beast Caller. No attacks. What you want to do, opponent? What you want to do? Assume you're going to minus the Beast Caller. Man, do you have removal for this Elspeth, too? I mean, if you do, you do. I mean, not a lot we can do about it. You got it, you got it. Alright. Let's try some things here. Let's start with this. Does this produce a counter? Probably so. At least I would think so, if you got one. Alright, that didn't happen, so let's +1 this guy.
Show him what you got.
And I guess we'll give it Vigilance. And how else do you want to go about this? Could just play another Beast Caller. That would put 2 counters on this. Could play... Yeah, I mean, let's do that. Because if they have a sweeper, we'll at least encourage them to get it out of their hand next turn. And then we'll still have bloated Contaminator shenanigans. Alright, you're going to wash away that. Sure. Sounds good. And then they're both going to attempt to attack Jace. I assume I'm going to lose the 3/3 here. See, that's when Soul Partition's actually reasonable. Alright, you got it. Got 2 cards left. You can come after our Elspeth. What you want to do? We can actually kill Jace next turn, I think, even if they minus, because then we get to add 4 counters. So it would be a 8/8 minus 3 is 5. Because we'll have 7 mana. Alright, I'm assuming there's just going to be other Jace here. We have 32 cards left. No, there is not another Jace here. So, knowing that, let's +1 on this to give it vigilance. So, no wandering Emperor shenanigans will get us. Though they could play something and remove the shield, which is kind of important. But you know what? Let's attack. Oh, they don't even have that. Interesting. Let's try this then. See if we can get a card. I was assuming there would have been some. I guess I should have done it anyway, even if I thought there was a Wandering Emperor. Because if there wasn't, that's 2 more points. You know, there's really no downside to it. And I knew I was at least going to play that. So let's try to target this. See if we can get a card. We apparently do. And we got a backup Elspeth. Ooh. Okay. Okay. Not sure what the opponent's plan here is, but I like what we got going on. Yeah, you definitely depopulate. You got it. We'll draw a card. I mean, can we just do 12 here? Pretty sure we can. Oh, that's great. That's all she wrote, right? Plus to make it 10. Yeah, we could Ozolith to make it 10. We could do, or 12. Yeah. Yeah, that game was wild because we had the option to +1 from Elspeth, +1 from the gift, +1 from that. We had 2, 4, 6, 8. The Elspeth was another thing, or we could like Contaminator plus. We had it all. Like, look, this is so good. We beat a control deck that literally started the game. Removal, get rid of your Planeswalker, counter a creature, remove a token, had Jace that just stayed out for I don't know how long, preventing attacks, and then depopulated. And we still, look at our hand. Like, we still had Planeswalker, so we could have searched and played a backup Planeswalker. Could also searched and played something with a shield. Had 1, 2, 3 creatures still available, plus a way to keep something from dying. And like I said, we'd have shielded creatures too. That was the way that hand started. This developed in a very strong situation against a control deck. Like, this was double thumbs up. This was good. Ooh, we get to go first, and we didn't even get a great hand here, but we're going to keep anyway, because this isn't all that bad, honestly. Nothing spectacular to do with the Brawler, so that's a little less than impressive, but if we don't get a land, it's going to be a little bit sad. And I'm not sure what we're going to do from here. Oh, they're playing this similar deck. Well, that's going to cause some problems now, isn't it? Alright, no attacks. I guess my plan should have been... Well, I don't know. That's nice. I thought about playing that in my version, but I do not have it, unfortunately. This is very helpful, though. This is kind of what I was looking for. So we play an Ozolith. We proceed to attack, I think. Well, if we put a counter on the Contaminator... Nah, we need to attack first. And maybe they'll block thinking, like, maybe he doesn't know that Ozolith isn't an instant or something. I don't know. Because, you know, some of us are dumb like that. Just mine. Let's go ahead and play this. Alright. So next turn gets to be pretty big. Even bigger if we stick the Elspeth and can come over the top. Or even just play Elspeth for +1 and give lifelink. That's probably pretty solid here, too. But let's see what happens. Gallagreeters, cool. I'm a big fan of Gallagreeters, and I wasn't totally sure Gallagreeters was the right card I want. Now that's cool, getting that card. Having 2 of those is pretty big here. I think we've only had 1 game where we've gotten 2 of those, but man, the trample from those is spectacular. Alright, opponent can come get it right now. I mean, that's a lot of damage that we can't do nothing about. Alright, we're going to take it. No blocks. Go to 16. Ooh, what can we do with this? Alright, so if we +1 an Elspeth, that doesn't really do enough. We need to double counter here, so I think we're going to put counters on the Contaminator. We could use this own ability to pump. Yeah, I think that's what we do. Can we attack for enough, like, where the opponent blocks and we have lethal? Maybe. I don't know. Let's find out. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. Gaia's Gift is going to be the only thing that can get us out of trouble here. Oh, we're going to get both of those creatures? Oh, that's so good. We probably still die next turn, though, right? Let's see. Let's view the board. Opponent would be attacking for 10, 11, 12. Yeah. If they put anything with the counter, we just die, because that's 13, 14. I guess I should have gained the life, huh? It's a bit silly. If I put 2 counters here, that doesn't do anything. Alright. Sure. I guess this is all we can do. It's quite sad. We just have to hope they don't have it. Maybe those are lands in hand. That's the only way we don't die. Because that's already 10. First counter's 12. If it's something that comes in with the counter, that's 13, 14. So this is real close. Oh, what is this thing? Oh, I forgot about that. That puts a counter on both things, doesn't it? Oh, but it's not enough. That's only 14. Alright, I think we still got this. Yeah, that puts counters on, but like we can make our creatures bigger than 10, so we're not worried about that. And Elspeth gives a thing flying. We got there. Ooh. Oh, that was so close. So close.
Show 'em what you got.
Flying. Woo. Go get it. Oh, that was such a good win. Such a good win. Oh, man, this deck's fun. All right, y'all. Like, this deck was so much fun. Like, this deck is bananas fun, really. And I think deck building wise, maybe like, and this isn't to insult our last round opponent there, but I think the build they were playing isn't as clean as it probably could be, because there's some cool stuff they're doing. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a lot of neat stuff there. But I think something like the Gala Greeters isn't necessarily what you want. I think you need to have more things that are generating counters on their own, more things that are able to protect your creatures. But I do like Gala Greeters. I'm a big fan. I play it in a lot of different builds. But here, as it turns out, I think on a similar note, the Kami of Whispered Hopes doesn't really do what we want it to do. Because it itself doesn't generate counters. It needs something to put counters on it. Kind of, and we already are making a concession for the 2 Dusk Legion duelists because it doesn't produce counters. It needs something to put it on there. So I think in that regard, I'm kind of willing to probably cut this and play either one of the battle we saw in the last game by the opponent. I believe it's this one, the Invasion of Maug, which I don't even know where Maug is. But this is actually pretty solid because it's a 4 mana 5/5, or 4 mana 5, I don't know what we call it, loyalty, whatever. Does put a +1/+1 on each creature I control, which is very good, and that does help out with something like the Duelist. And then the backside is Ward 2, and at the beginning of your end step, you put a +1/+1 on everything we control, right? So the turn you play it, you put a +1/+1 on everything, then if you flip it, you get an additional +1/+1 on everything, and that's probably going to end the game if you have any sizable bodies. However, it is 4 mana. So that's something else, right? Like, you kind of have to figure that in, where that belongs. Otherwise, I think our other plan is to play Veteran and just be able to put counters on something every single turn. Just have a counter generator. So I guess it really comes down to if we're willing to just replace this with another 3 mana thing, or if we do want a 4 mana thing. And that's not an easy decision to make here. I think because we're kind of often leaving mana up for something like Gaia's Gift, or we want to use an Ozolith, maybe it's best to go ahead and just play 1 Siege Veteran. Or, hear me out here, because Ozolith is legendary, we could also just cut 1 Ozolith and play one of the battles, right? The Battle of Maug, which might be okay, because we don't have that many. I mean, everything pretty much only costs up to 3, because we're rarely playing the similar as a 5. We're usually playing it as a 2. So we only have 2 things that cost 4 or more, so it's not like we're going to throw the deck way out of whack having that. But man, the Ozolith was so clutch in these games. I think it might have to be a 4 of just to make sure we have it, and then just gamble on the cycling. But if you do want to play extra veteran or Invasion of Maug, this veteran slot I think is versatile, as well as being able to play cutting one Ozolith here. But going over the deck list, we do have 4 Olenbach Escort, 4 Evolving Adaptive, 2 Dusk Legion Duelist. Why is it so hard to say? 4 Gaia's Gift, 4 Ozolith, 4 Beast Caller, 4 Brawler, 1 Siege Veteran now, 4 Bloated Contaminator, 2 Archangel Elspeth, 2 Autonomous Assembler, 2 Elspeth Resplendent. Lands, we have an Iganjo, 4 Plains, Beseju, 6 Forests, 4 each of Brushland, Overgrown Farmland, and Razor Verge Thicket. So yeah, y'all, this one's actually a tough one for me to figure out, because this is one of those times where, you see me play a deck, I win a bunch of games, and you kind of say, well, is it unbeatable? Obviously, it's not unbeatable. But I kind of come back to pay attention to the progress of the games more than the outcome of the games, right? Because our opponents could have had some other cards. Maybe 1 or 2 of them get a couple of early removal. Maybe I don't draw 2 of the Olenbach Escorts in some games so they can have better blocks. Like, there's a bunch of things that could have happened to shift those games. I did have some really good draws in at least 2 of them that I could have otherwise lost. But then there's some stuff that we blew right past, like the mono black deck, and we just had all the answers, right? So it's a very interesting thing. This deck actually ended up being better than I thought. I would have liked a way to draw some more cards, which, that probably is the shortcoming of the deck. If you do get worn down in a battle of attrition, you don't have many ways to really recover outside of the duelist, but, that kind of is what it is. But yeah, I'm digging this deck. I think it was actually pretty fun. I think this build was really nice. Not too much to change other than I was talking about, but I do think the Battle of Maug has real value in this deck, especially because of the, the Botanical Brawler, I think is what it's called. Being able to put counters on multiple things, it's possible you can get those to a super size, so that's a thing. And like I said, I misread them initially. I thought it was once a turn. It's just like, no, the first turn for each permanent. So that could give those an opportunity to be real big too. So I would consider the Battle of Maug if you wanted to go, again, cut 1 Ozolith and maybe take out that last, the veteran that we put in there, so that you can actually have room for a couple of those and maybe really pop off. But this is something. This deck was really, really surprising and pretty impressive. And now for today's card spotlight, we're going to talk about Averbruck Caretaker, which is interesting because I rarely highlight a card that happens to still be standard legal. But in this case, this is a card I considered playing in the deck and just opted not to because our mana curve's pretty low and we're using our mana for multiple things every turn. So we probably don't want to tap out to cast this in a lot of cases. However, the card is actually playable for this type of deck. So if you wanted to go up in mana a little bit, but I don't think it's better than the Planeswalkers, and that was the big issue. But that being said, this card, while it doesn't see a lot of play in standard, is still worth like $7 or $8. So it kind of looks like bulk in a lot of ways if you were to look around the standard environment and say like, well, nobody plays this card. But it actually still is very sought after in Commander, partly because werewolf decks are still very popular, and it's just a nice body that keeps putting counters on things. And there's a couple of different commanders that also want you to have +1/+1 counters. One of them I play, like Hamza, as an example. So yeah, just a really cool card, worth considering for those decks, but another one that if you just have it sitting around, it's probably worth a little more than you thought. And if you enjoyed today's wild ride of a deck, why don't you check out this Dragons deck we have for the new season, because it was a hell of a lot of fun and also a bit surprising. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.